Hello everyone, welcome back to Dubster Dive, the series where I take a show, break down its English dub. Well, it's not even a show. I've done audiobooks now, movies, or live action films, etc., etc. So, yeah, we're going to break down the English dub for this, give my thoughts on it, we all have a laugh, etc., etc. Obviously, this whole thing is unscripted, which people should know by now, I guess. And welcome back to Sword Art Online. We are now on Part 2, the Aincrad arc in anime form. So, last time I managed to take the easy way out and rush through the events of the Aincrad novels. This time, though, I'm going balls deep, breaking down the events one by one, Bleach style. So, let's see how this goes. So the Sword Art Online anime, I already covered the light novels written by Riki Kawahara last time, but the anime itself would air on July of 2012 by A1 Pictures. Oh, goody me. Same people behind such hits as The Asterisk War. But hey, they did erase in Anohana, so it's got to count for something, right? Anyway, directing duties for the anime would fall to Tomohiko Ito, the same guy that did the Erased anime. As far as composer, it is Yuki Kajiura, who's done the OSTs for Demon Slayer and Erased and Madoka Magica. Needless to say, yeah, her pedigree is well known. Like, is that a female? I don't know. Someone will tell me. But regardless, yeah. SAO is no exception to this, by the way. Love it or hate it, its soundtrack is fucking amazing. I'm sure anyone can tell you that. And from what I've heard, its animation isn't too bad either. Anyway, the Blu-rays would come out in 2013, as I stated last time, with the English dub, because, of course, Aniplex would charge an arm and a leg for them, though. Yeah. As I said, I watched this on Toonami back in the day when it first premiered. And yeah, now you can watch it on Netflix, which is where I watched it here. So let's run down our cast. So first we have Kirito, main man, voiced by Bryce Papenbrook. And yeah, his performance here, it's kind of interesting to go back to and hear Bryce a lot younger, before he had an extra decade's worth of experience under his belt. You could definitely hear it here. This is before Eren Yeager, before Makoto from Danganronpa, before a lot of his heavy hitter roles. I think Kirito might have been his major breakout hit that got him noticed or whatever. He was definitely shit before that, but you all know what I mean. Asana, meanwhile, our main female, is voiced by Jeremy Lee, like I said last time, and yeah, she does alright here. Much of what I said before still applies. It's interesting getting to hear her and a lot of these other people about a decade ago, or from a decade ago. After her, we have Kaiba, voiced by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark DeRyson himself. You know, Guts from Berserk, or Wilhelm from Season 1 of ReZero. Seriously, why did he change? And he's not here long, but what you do get of him, he does his best to, you know, make the most of it. After him, we have Silica, voiced by Christine Marie Cabanos in this. Finally, I don't have to worry about Bryce and Jeremy voicing everybody like in the visual or audiobooks. Christine Marie Cabanos, known for voicing Marie Rose in DOA, Chica from Backstreet Girls, and Nepgear from the Neptunia franchise. 3 best girls in a row. Don't judge me. Anyway, and her work as Silica is fine. It's Christine Marie Cabanos doing a typical cutesy moe voice. After her, we have Lisbeth, the blacksmith. This time being voiced by Sarah Ann Williams, who's Ferris from ReZero and Uni from the Neptunia franchise, respectively. And yeah, she does fine as Lisbeth. Got no real complaints. I'm only going to do a few more of these, since I'm going to have to break down the show in a second, but after her, we have Klein, aka Best Friend Kun, voiced by Kirk Thornton. Shadow the Hedgehog from the newer Sonic games, Jubei from BlazBlue, and Siegfried from Soul Calibur 6. My hand! What? Has anyone not played that? Come on, it's great. Anyway, Klein's great. He's a great dude. You'll see when we get to it. Anyway, after him we have Aegyo. Aegyo? I'm never gonna get this guy's name right. Voiced by Patrick Seitz. Yes, Patrick Seitz doing a black man voice. I know. I think it's hilarious, but that's me. Patrick Seitz known for voicing Endeavor, the new voice of Kenpachi. Please don't let that be the case again in the final season of Bleach. And Ragna from BlazBlue. And honestly, memes aside, he does great as Aegyo. He even has lines like, "Yo, Kirito, thought we were tight, man," and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought he did good. And rounding out the cast for the last main character, we have Yui. Anyway, Yui is voiced by Stephanie Sheh, Usagi or Sailor Moon from the Viz dub, and Orihime from Bleach. As far as ADR directorial roles, it would fall to Alex Von David, who I think is an amazing ADR director, who we covered here before. As far as the scriptwriter, I'm pretty sure it was also Alex, though, yeah, I wasn't able to really confirm that all too well. Well, now that we have the cast, crew, and everything out of the way, can this anime adaptation actually be good? Can A1 strike one out of the park and adapt these novels properly? Let's find out. So, just like last time, the anime begins just like the novels do, where Kirito logs into the Nerve Gear program to play the online MMO SAO, a game he was a beta tester for, along with around 10,000 other SO players that also got lucky enough to get into the game before it sold out. On launch day, you only had 10,000 copies? Could you imagine if Call of Duty did that shit? Call of Duty woke guard. Piece of shit. Anyway. Kirito ends up running into Klein right at the start of the game, and they become good friends. And Klein even asks how hot Kirito's sister is, and promptly gets kicked in the nuts. Well, Klein, have you seen Leafa? Cause, yeah, she's kind of... anyways, as I was saying, we'll get to Leafa later. Don't worry. She's not getting this set. But it's after they quickly have a bit of banter and become friends, and they realize they can't log out of the game. Oh, shit. It's then they're teleported to the Town of Beginnings main square. That's basically where the game starts off, obviously. And all the players are there, and that's when Kaiba shows up, explaining the stuff that you must, complete Aincrad. Aincrad being the floating castle that the game takes place in. 100 floors set all the way up to the top of the castle. Town of Beginnings being on floor 1. Each floor having its own distinct environment, such as a snowy mountain and all this other shit. And he would also explain that if you die in the game, you die for real. And if people force the nerve gear off your head, then you also die. Just roll with it. Also, if the power goes out, the nerve gear does have batteries, but they only last so long, and you'll die if it's not plugged back in immediately or some shit. Oh. And of course, people are freaking out. We have Sarah Ann Williams freaking out, Jeremy Lees, Eric Himmers, KG Tangs. I'll get to them in a bit of who they've voiced in the past, but it's really dumb. The recycling ad voices here is typical for a Bang Zoom dub. Anyway, Kaiba also tells them to look at the mirror that's in the everyone's inventories, and they do, and that's when, instead of using avatars, it now has their real appearances. SAO, a place where the men are now men, and the women are also men. Jokes aside, this is kind of a hilarious scene here, where a guy and a girl were hooking up, and then the girl suddenly turns into a guy, and the guy's like, "Wait, what? You're not a chick!" And the other guy's like, "Yeah, and you're also not 17. Guess we're both liars." It's like, wow, fucking online shit, man. Damn MMOs. Anyway, Kirito and Klein end up splitting up after this, agreeing to meet up again later as Kirito knows all the best grinding spots and runs off on his own. He offers for Klein to come along, but Klein turns him down. But now, they're meeting up for the Floor 1 boss for a month has passed, and this is where Asana shows up, as well as Igyo. And yeah, at this meeting, there are two people of note here. First is Kibao, voiced by Derek Stephen Prince, Uryu from Bleach, or, if you must know, Shino from the Naruto franchise, who has a problem with beta testers, saying they're all cheaters, that they refuse to help those, they know how to get all the best loot. And Diabo, or Diabao, whatever the hell the fucking pronunciation is, they call him both things, voiced by Sean Shiplock, who you'd all probably know as Subaru from ReZero. Anyway, Diabo is the leader of this little excursion, learn to talk, and is on the side of just everyone getting along. And says, we're gonna go fight the boss, and calms Kibao down. Along with Igyo, who also steps in and defends the beta testers. Asuna and Kirito talk about not losing oneself in this world, that they would rather die fighting a monster than hanging back at the town of beginnings like some players did for the entirety of the game. Because, that's the pussy way out. No one wants that. Anyway, they fight the boss, and Diabo gets hit by the boss and gets murked. And it turns out he was a beta tester the whole time. I don't know why he didn't just take the healing potion Kirito tried offering him, but whatever. Fucking idiot. Everyone kills the boss and everything's good, right? Except Kibao calls out Kirito for being a beta tester and a cheater. Thus, the term beater is created. No, not wife beater. What is wrong with you people? Beater as in beta tester and a cheater. Kirito plays the villain to motivate the dicks to, well, actually get on his level, by saying, yeah, I'm the best beta tester there is, bitch. And to basically get heat off the other beta testers. Oh, and also, they do say Kirito, just like in the novels. For some reason, I didn't remember them doing that, but there you go. But yeah, after this, it's now time for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer episode. Kirito's first guild that he joins, so let's run through the members of who's in this guild. First, we have Keita, voiced by Lucien Dodge, or Kibo from Doggy V3, Danganronpa. Then, he does alright. I didn't mention about Diabo and Kibao. It's fucking Derek Stephen Prince, so I need to say anything. Sean Shiplock sounds a little rough, but this was a much earlier role for him, so can you do? Now, as far as Keita in this new guild, again, it's okay, I guess. We also have Sachi, who's, I guess, Kirito's first love interest, voiced by Xanthi Huyn, Hermit from Eden Zero, or Hanyo from Higurashi. No, get that dub away. Guess Xanthi was being whored out even back then in these days. Back in 2013. Next member of the guild is Ducker, voiced by Eric Kimmerer. Hey, the protag from Excel World, isn't that funny? And Alibaba from Magi. He does fine, but he has very few lines because he's not an important member. After him is Tetsuo, voiced by Tyler Shammy, whose only other name I could find was Godu from the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Yeah, I don't know who this dude is either. And again, he does okay, but yeah. The last member of the group is Sasamaru, voiced by Bobby Thong. Your last name is Thong, dude? Anyway, he's Pakal from Hunter x Hunter and Kazu from Erased. If that is how you pronounce his names correctly, someone's gonna get mad at me, I'm sure. Anyway, Kirito ends up saving the guild from a monster, and he's way higher level than them at this point, but he decides to lie because he doesn't want to be alone anymore, and he thinks he can help the guild out. It gets to a point where Sachi hates the fighting so much that she runs away, forcing Kirito to chase after her. Kirito promises to keep her safe as Sachi tries talking about suicide, and I don't know what direction they were going for here, but Xanthi's line delivery is flat as hell here. Bitch, You're talking about doing something as fucked up as that, and you're giving the most unassuming performance you can. Come on. That aside, her and Kirito end up getting close. But it's all for naught, as one day on an adventure, the guild ends up falling for a trap chest. And yeah, monsters show up and everyone gets murked, except Kirito, because he's a high enough level. But Kirito couldn't protect all of them. And yeah, Kirito blames himself, because if he had just been honest with them about being a beater, they might have still been alive. Or at the very least had been honest about his level from the beginning. Anyway, the only one who didn't die was Keita, because he wasn't there. And he commits seppuku after hearing what happened to the guild. Because all those people were his good friends IRL and he didn't want to go on alone. Damn, that's dark. People say SAO doesn't have good writing from time to time. Flash forward 6 months, and yeah, we got the Santa boss monster on Christmas. Hey, that's convenient timing with what it is right now. Where if you kill the monster eventually, you might actually be able to get an item from him to revive people. And it ends up leading to where Klein holds the other players back while Kirito kills the monster. He fights him off screen, again, just like in the novel. And we don't get to see Kirito's reaction of finding the item. Like in the novel. Come on, guys. In the novel, he actually had a nervous breakdown when he realized what the item was. It can only revive someone in 10 seconds after they died. But in the anime, you don't get any of that. He just walks up to Klein, acts emo and depressed, and gives him the crystal and says, here you go, and fucks off. And Klein has to be the one to describe what the crystal does. It kind of cheapens the moment a bit, but it's A1, so whatever. Anyway, while Kirito's being emo, Sachi's message crystal plays on Christmas, telling him to keep on going as she hums Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. A lot better than Bryce trying to read off the lyrics in a woman's voice. But yeah, she hums the song as Kirito cries at the loss of his loved one. It's so sad. Or you could just call Kirito a bitch. Up to you. Next. Oh, we have the Silica story. Oh boy. Silica, the lolly of the group. Anyway, she ends up getting her beast, Pina, the dragon that she has, because she's a beast tamer, killed by her arrogance. And before she could get killed, though, by the monkey monsters, yes, that's what they are, Monkey Man, Kirito shows up and saves her, telling her that there is a way to revive Pina. All she has to do is go with him to the Mountain of Memories. It's on a much higher floor, so she reluctantly has no choice but to agree to go with Kirito. Anyway, in town, they run into one of Silica's old guildmates, Rosalia, who's a complete cunt. Basically, she always picked fights with Silica, and we're gonna find out how much of an asshole this woman is. She's voiced by Laura Post. Hey, it's Saki from Platinum End. Platinum End's a great show, y'all show. Go check it out. Come on. She's also R for the Neptunia franchise, I guess. And she does a good job here playing an asshole. Anyway, she seems very interested to hear how they're going to revive Pina, as she walks off. Kirito then tells Silica why some people are assholes. They find it fun to play the villain in MMOs, which is true. Sure, everyone likes playing the dick from time to time. And that's when he explains how some players have a green cursor and player killers have a red. I think you all get what that means. Anyway, they end up going the next day to the Hill of Memorize. And of course, because it's an anime, they fight tentacle monsters. You all know where this is going with Silica. So after that anime bullshit, Kirito explains to Silica why he helped her. Because she reminds him a little of his sister, and he doesn't want to abandon anyone in need, etc. Anyway, they get the flower that revives Pina. I'm trying to rush through these events. Because, yeah, but I said I'd break this down bit by bit. That's when Rosalia shows up, attacking them, as Kirito explains that he used Silica as bait to lure out Rosalia because she's the leader of a dark guild. And, yeah, Kirito ends up taking down her and her entire guild by himself, because of course he does, because he's a badass. He's a beater, you know. Anyway, after this shit happens, Hina is revived as Silica exclaims how happy she is to have met Kirito. And I hope you like Silica, because she's gone from the rest of this arc. No, seriously, you'd be forgiven for thinking this character was a filler character or just never existed. I don't understand this. Whatever. Anyway, after that, we have Asuna and Kirito arguing in the next scene, because it's been a few more months, about using NPCs as bait for the next boss. Kirito trying to defend this, saying, but they're NPCs, they have lives too, and I just think that's dumb. Dude, fuck cares? Asuna's actually right. Anyway, this is actually, when it devolves into a murder mystery, though. Because someone in town ends up getting killed, and they're like, holy shit, you can't kill a person in town. That doesn't make sense. You can only kill them outside of town. And I want to play a game with this arc. Let's see how many Danganronpa characters we have. So we have Bryce, who's Makoto. We have Jeremy, who's Komaru from Watch You Despair Girls. Well, it turns out the witness to the crime is Yoko, or Yorko, those pesky L's and R's, right, guys? Anyway, voiced by Natalie Hoover, Sonia Nevermind, from Danganronpa. And, again, much earlier role by hers, so it's neither here nor there. Anyway, Yorko was in a guild with the victim, and yeah. Apparently it turns out one of their other members died a while back because they got a rare item that she didn't want to give up or something. And things spiral out of control from there. I think you'll see where this is going. Speaking of their guild members, as we're introduced to them, one of them is Schmidt, voiced by Keiji Tang, Yasuhiro from Danganronpa. And yeah, he seems to be the biggest suspect. In fact, it's after Yorko ends up meeting him that she ends up getting killed. Oh yeah, we also found out the name of the victim was Kynes, voiced by Kyle Hebert, or Kaito from Danganronpa V3. I refuse to bring up Kazuichi from Danganronpa 2, because fuck Kazuichi. And it's Kyle Hebert, so he did alright. But that's when you find out that this was all an elaborate ruse to lure out the killer of the person from their guild, Griselda, who had the rare item. You see, it turns out the moment it looked like they were about to die, they used a teleport crystal to get out of town, so that way their body would vanish, to make it look like their HP hit 0. But yes, Yorko and Kynes were alive the whole time to lure out Schmidt to get him to confess. Which, yeah, Schmidt didn't do the killing. But he was just manipulated into taking the fall for it. Before anything else can happen, though, that's when the members of Laughing Coffin arrive, the biggest murder guild in all of SAO, and Kirito and Asuna arrive to save them, forcing Laughing Coffin to fuck off. And that's when it's revealed that Grimlock was the killer the whole time! He was another member of their guild that they mentioned briefly, I guess. And he's voiced by Matt Mercer. Hey, it's Heiji from Danganronpa Ultra Despair. See what I mean? It's literally a Danganronpa thing. And his reason for killing Griselda is fucking dumb. So he didn't kill her for the rare item. Griselda was his wife in real life, and when they got into the game, he said Griselda changed. She was no longer the submissive one. She was brave and outgoing, and he refused to accept that. See what I mean? It was fucking stupid. Sad part is, this murder mystery arc was alright. On your first time watch, yeah, it keeps you guessing, I guess. But, yeah. After this, Kirito and Asuna, who were arguing this whole time, finally decide to warm up a little more to each other. As Kirito tried teaching her the lesson, live in the moment, even in SAO. You know, don't just let your life pass you by, even if you're in this virtual world. However, Kirito isn't sure if he wants to add Asuna to his friends list. He added Klein earlier, though, without any problem. Gay. Anyway, the episode ends, though, and they do end up adding each other. Now we have the Lisbeth episode, where Saren Williams actually does a really good job as the blacksmith Lisbeth. Where Kirito has to show up, and they have to go hunting for materials to make his new sword on the snowy mountain. Interesting, battles up the mountain were cut out of this from the novel. Yeah. In the anime, you don't get to see Lisbeth use her mace or any of that shit to kill skeleton monsters. They just arrive at the dragon. And yeah, it goes about as well as you'd expect. They end up falling into the dragon's lair, bond over being trapped in SAO together. Lisbeth starts falling in love with the dick Kirito. As they eventually escape, on the dragon's tail, actually, funnily enough, when the dragon comes back, they get the materials they need. Again, rushing through this, don't mind me. And yeah, after making his new sword, that's when Asuna shows up, and Lisbeth finally understands that Asuna, who had previously told her she liked someone, or at least implied it, that it was Kirito the whole time. Lisbeth is sad, but gives up Kirito for her friend. See, that's how you know that someone's cool. Which is a legit question. Would you give up someone that you liked because you knew your best friend was interested in them? Oh. But hey, Kirito does end up cheering Lisbeth up. So, that's something, I guess. Anyway. Next episode. Okay. We're getting there. Kirito and Asuna become even closer as Kirito wants to go to Asuna's house to cook food. Yes, really. And that's when Asuna is revealed to be part of the Knights of the Blood Oath, the most powerful guild in all of SAO, with her new bodyguard, Kuradil, voiced by Doug Airholes. You know what that means, because Doug Airholes is here. Sasamaru! You didn't think I'd bring that back, did you? And it's Doug Airholes. You know what to expect. He's voicing a dick who, for some reason, really loves Asuna. Like, he wants that bad. He's jealous of Kirito. Anyway. After being ordered to fuck off, Asuna and Kirito go to her place, where Kirito says, "I'm surprised that you're flat." He's talking about her house. Kirito, are you fucking British? I don't understand. But, yeah, things go well as they go dungeon hunting together, at least get ready to, and that's when Kuradil shows up and challenges Kirito to a duel, claiming he can protect Asuna better. And he gets his ass kicked, because of course he does. He's ordered to retreat and vows that he will one day find out how to defeat Kirito, more or less. He's angry. Damn it, Doug Airholes, you do too good of a job as this one-off character. Pseudo one-off. Anyway. But we don't have time for that, because now we're in the dungeon! As Asuna and Kirito find the 74th floor boss and are forced to retreat. There we go. As Asuna then says, "Man, this is gonna be tough." And asks Kirito, who only uses one sword, why he doesn't use a shield too. That the one-handed sword style is only for players who also use a shield. That's the benefit of it. That she uses a rapier, not rapier. She says rapier. So a shield would mess up her stuff. Kirito says, "I have my reasons." And we'll find that out in a minute. As Klein arrives and starts hitting on Asuna, because Klein gets it. What? Anyway. And yeah, they discuss finding the boss, and that's when the army arrives. The Liberation Army. Which, I guess it's about time I explain the factions in SAO, isn't it? Okay, so there are several factions. 4,000 players have been murked at this point. And you have the Liberation Army, who control the town of Beginnings up to like 425 and primarily stay there. Who are only up at the front now to get profit out of the situation. You have Klein's guild. You have the Knights of the Blood Oath, which are the most powerful guild that Asuna is a part of. And there are other smaller guilds too and solo players. Kirito, because he's an asshole, is a solo player. Anyway, members of the army arrive, led by General Corvus, or Patrick Seitz again? Whatever. He ends up going to the boss monster and getting killed. Not great. That's when Kirito, Klein, and Austin arrive to try saving the military army people, because, of course, and they have to fight the boss monster. This is when it's revealed that Kirito only uses a one-handed sword because he is the only one that can dual wield in all of SAO. Yes, I'm serious. This makes no sense. It's fucking stupid. But it's SAO. Damn it, Reki Kawahara. As Kirito is comboing with two swords, he's going, gotta go faster, insert Sonic Meme here, because I'm a dick. Your groans make me pleased. And eventually the boss monster dies, as everyone finds out about Kirito's dual-wielding skill, including the tabloids that write about it in the paper. Whatever, that's just silly. But hey, while Kirito's hiding out at Aegyo's place, they inserted Lisbeth into the scene, saying that she wanted to keep the secret, but oh well. Yeah, you see, this makes more sense in the novel when, in the novel, Kirito asked for two swords or whatever. She even asked, like, why do you have two swords? And he says, don't worry about it. In the anime, Lisbeth never inquires about him having dual swords at all. So, I don't know, just weird. Damn it, A1. But hey, at least they inserted her into this scene. Like, that's a thing, so it makes it feel more connected. Anyway, I gotta stop saying anyways. Make a tricky game out of that. But we cut from that to Asuna and Kirito being forced to meet Heathcliff, the leader of the Knights of the Blood, who then tells Ichigo, damn, rather be watching Bleach right now. Sorry, I'm just so hyped for the final season, man. You understand? Actually, we do get JYB and SA at some point, don't we? But alright. Heathcliff tells Kirito, because Kirito, he wants to free Asuna from the Knights of the Blood. Basically, Kirito and Asuna want to get closer together. Heathcliff says, I will let her go if you can defeat me in a duel. But if I win, then you have to join the Knights of the Blood. Heathcliff, by the way, is voiced by Kevin M. Connolly, who you all would probably know as Fury from Fullmetal Alchemist, or the narrator from Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Man, Iruma-kun. Also a good show. So is FMA. And, yeah, he does good as Heathcliff. He does. He gives off the stern leader vibe or whatever. But, yeah. We cut to the Kirito-Heathcliff duel, and Kirito gets his ass kicked. There's no getting around it. He actually does do some damage to Heathcliff, but it's all for naught. So he's forced to join the guild. And it's after this where Asuna asks him why he's so against guilds in the first place, where Kirito tells her about his old guild. And they have a heart-to-heart, man. But hey. Kirito is then forced to go on a test expedition with the Knights of the Blood Oath, which the first one he meets is Godfrey. Yeah, like Gilbert Godfrey, I know. Voiced by Kyle Aber again. Damn it. And Kuradil. Yeah, they want him to mend bridges. They have to go on an adventure together alone. That's when Kuradil ends up poisoning and betraying them, killing Godfrey, and is about to kill Kirito. And Doug Airholes hams it up here, like nobody's business, because of course he does. And yeah, you find out he's a former member of Laughing Coffin, the murder guild that was taken out off screen. Why? Again, I brought this up with the novels. This sounds like an interesting story, them having to deal with a bunch of player killers. But alas, we don't get to see it in this arc. So, there you go. Before Kirito can get killed, Asuna shows up and kicks the ass of Kurodil. But before she can dealt the finishing blow, she tries showing him mercy, and that's when Kurodil tries doing a surprise attack. The poison then wears off, though, and Kirito is forced to kill Kurodil. Yes, Kirito just committed murder. Wonder if they're going to go any deeper into this, and they really don't, at least as of right now. But hey, Kirito and Asuna agree after this experience to get married. Isn't that a thing? It'd sure be a shame if the harem aspect fucked this up, now wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Damn it, Reki Kawahara. Anyway, moving on from that, we have probably one of my least favorite parts of SAO, the Yui story. Look, I'm not a fan of this. This story just seems dumb to me, but let's go through it. As of right now, we are 10 episodes in. We're approaching the end, because Sen's on 14. And I could say, so far, I'm still intrigued by where the story could go. So, yeah. Anyway, we find out Asuna is afraid of ghosts as they go ghost hunting, because Kirito wants to see the ghost that everyone has heard about. Turns out the ghost is Yui. Young-looking girl that they think is a player, but is in a comatose state. They take her back to their place, and she ends up waking up the next day. As Asuna says he woke up, yes, referring to Yui as a guy. That's interesting. Damn it. Fucking stupid dub. And that's when Yui thinks that Kirito and Asuna are her parents. So, after this debacle, they end up going back to the Town of Beginnings to try seeing if Yui came from there, because that's where all of the youngins hang out, apparently. But that's when they find out that the army is now taxing people with evil taxes! Taxes, not Texas, not the Lone Star State. But yeah. In town, they actually see this, where they see a bunch of youngins and a woman named Sasha, who is trying to protect them, are being harassed by the army people. The army people voiced by Patrick Seitz and Kirk Thornton again. Patrick Seitz is an army person again? Did he die like 3 episodes ago? Damn it. Anyway. Sasha is voiced by Erica Harlocker, who's on from Persona 5 and Venti from Genshin Impact. And anyone else think Erica Harlocker's kind of hot? Anyway, sorry about that. As I was saying, she does all right here. She really gives off like a much older, I guess, parent or bigger sister figure to the other Shotas that she's protecting. But yeah, she's barely here. She fucks off after this, so I don't think it matters. Kirito and Asuna, of course, save them from the Taxus Rangers. And yeah. Yui apparently sees how happy everyone is to be saved and has a PTSD attack. I don't fucking know. It's gonna get really stupid. Trust me on this. But as they're celebrating, someone from the army named Yulier enters, voiced by Amanda C. Miller, who you'd all probably know as Boruto, and the only voice of Junko, well, I guess Aaron Fitzgerald counts too, but the better voice of Junko, that better, from the Danganronpa franchise, because fuck you, Jamie Mark, you were not Junko, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Anyway. Yulier says that she needs help saving the leader of the army, because Kibao, you know, the Derek Stephen Prince thingy that hated all beta testers, has taken over the army and trapped their leader, Thinker, yeah, that's the guy's name is Thinker, in a hidden dungeon. The hidden dungeon that only Kirito can enter. Anyone ever see the hidden dungeon only I can enter? Fantastic show. If you're cultured, go watch it. Trust me. Has lots of anime titties. Anyway. So the hidden dungeon apparently is only on level 1, or the first floor. the town of beginnings, it only opened up when they got past floor 60. Because, sure. But yeah, they agree to help her out as Yui leads Yui, Kirito, and Asuna into the hidden dungeon. Because Yui says she'll be fine as long as she's with them. They make it to Thinker, but that's when a level 90 boss appears in this hidden dungeon that's set back at level 1. Okay, asshole game developers. You know, it's funny, Kirito said that SAO is fairly balanced for the most part. Sure it is. Okay. But yeah. Asuna and Kirito end up getting owned by this thing, and that's when it reveals that Yui... Yeah, it reveals. No, it's revealed. Yui makes the save, because she's an AI that was made for people who are mentally taxed inside SAO. She apparently used her AI privilege... Hashtag AI privilege. Damn it. To delete the monster. Anyway. Apparently, day 1 in this game, she was locked out of the server, which is known as the Cardinal program. Cardinal like a bird? Yeah, I know what it means. I'm just being a dick. Come on. She doesn't know why she was banned from interacting with people, but eventually... she aired out and had to reboot, I guess, and lost her memories. That's when she saw Kirito and Asuna, and her emotions awakened. You see, because Kirito and Asuna were happier than any other players together, and she wanted to meet them. Sure. This makes so much sense. I agree. I believe this. This is not dumb in the slightest. But because she interfered with the server, she's now forced to disappear. That's when Kirito rushes to the terminal that was there, because apparently this dungeon was meant to be an emergency terminal for managers to use inside SAO. Why would you put a terminal here that players could access? What if they did end up defeating that boss and find some exploit, even if it was a 490 boss? Whatever. He uses the terminal to save Yui and turn her into a necklace, saying that he can salvage her data in the real world when they escape. This is going to be really fucking stupid in the next arc, isn't it? But yes, Kirito apparently knows how to access a terminal like this and use admin privileges, I guess, on the fly like that, under pressure. It's... fuck this story, we're done with the Yui shit. But next, we're on the honeymoon of Asuna and Kirito still. Yeah, I didn't even mention that, how they even got on their honeymoon. So after the Curidial shit, apparently Heathcliff allowed them to have a couple weeks off, claiming that, fine, you can have 2 weeks off, but you'll be back, more or less. But yeah, so that's when the Yui shit took place, because they found Yui on their honeymoon adventure. And now they're fishing! Yes, really, that with the mundane thing of fishing. Honestly, this is fine, it does do world building, I guess, with SAO. But yeah. Kirito ends up running into a fisherman named Nishida, voiced by Doug Stone, who's Valkenheim from the BlazBlue franchise, and Mario Zappelli from JoJo. Oh, have you guys seen JoJo Stone Ocean? Fucking great. Go watch it. After you're done watching this, please finish this. Don't leave me alone. But yeah. Kirito and him end up hunting a superfish, as Asuna and Kirito talk about people living normal lives in SAO and how, you know... sometimes you just gotta live in the moment. If you're trapped in an MMO and can't get out, sometimes just carry your life on. Don't give up, and etc. And it makes sense. Like we already saw, Lisbeth was a blacksmith, and Aegyo is a store owner, basically a merchant. So, I don't know. What job would you guys take if you were inside an MMO like SAO? Honestly, don't know which one I'd take. Honestly, I think I'd be like a fucking info broker if I could. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe a navigator on a map. But, yeah. The superfish ends up showing up. Asuna ends up killing it. And, yeah. Before they leave, Nishida explains how he's been living a normal life in SAO, and he wonders if that's a bad thing, as Asuna and Kirito assure him it's not. Just live your normal life, man. And there are some people who actually don't want to go back to their normal lives because in SAO, they're living better lives than they have before. In fact, this is one thing I will bring up. The anime didn't cover this yet. In the novel it did, and I skipped it last time, but I'm covering it here. Asuna's family life is kind of shit. As I said before, everything was dictated for her, from who she could marry to what school she could go to. And that's why she wanted to be in an MMO, for freedom. Because she could be free to roleplay whoever she wanted. And yeah, that actually makes sense. In fact, in the novel, it's explained that she said her first thought when she found out she was trapped was, oh shit, I can't do my homework now. My parents are going to be mad at me. Showing how fucked up the situation was for her. But yeah, they move on from there because they're forced to go back to the front lines because they found the floor 75th boss. Heathcliff did off screen, apparently, while they were off having fun. And yeah, the raiding party is set. Heathcliff, Klein, Aegyo, Kirito, and Asuna, and a bunch of other randos are sent to fight the floor 75th boss, a centipede with a skull monster thing that ends up murking half the room. Holy shit. It's a long, hard-fought battle, but they eventually win as everyone is exhausted, except Heathcliff. Huh, that's weird. This ends up leading to Kirito attacking Heathcliff just to see what would happen. Yeah, he was planning on risking becoming a P-killer over this, player killer, to prove a point, and he was right. Heathcliff is revealed to be Kaiba! Dun dun dun. And yeah, Kaiba asks Kirito how long he knew. Kirito says, I knew something was off ever since our duel, because you used abilities you shouldn't have been able to. Kaiba's like, oh, that's cool. I was going to reveal myself for the 100th floor, but I'll fight you here. And yeah, we're going to get into the issue of this in a second. Kaiba paralyzes everyone in the room except Kirito and says he wants to have a one-on-one duel with him because it would be fun. If Kirito wins, then he will free everyone from SAO. So, yeah, we're having the final boss fight here on the 75th floor. What, did Reki get bored? Is that what happened? Anyway, Kirito, of course, gets his ass kicked, but before a fatal blow can be done to him, Asuna breaks out of her paralysis and saves him from the killing blow. And Kaiba's like, man, not even I could have predicted that would happen. There's no feature that should let them break out of that. Well, shit, I guess that's what makes RPGs so fun. Oh yeah, that comment Kirito said, where there's nothing more boring than watching someone play an RPG. You need to play it yourself. That's how I knew Heathcliff was also Kaiba. Because Kaiba watching the experiment like a cuck, no, that doesn't work. He needs to play the experiment. So if you watch RPG Let's Plays, according to Kirito, that's boring as fuck. What's wrong with you? Because Kirito knows all. He's an expert on not being bored. Anyway, back to the fight. Kirito picks up Asuna's rapier in one hand and charges at Kaiba again. And they end up stabbing each other. Double kill. As they both die, Kirito and Asuna awaken together on a floating platform as Aincrad falls apart, and thus they watch it in the distance. Yes, distance, not difference. Kaiba appears, saying he did this because he wanted to create a world from his dream. He dreamed of a castle out there in the real world that was floating in the sky, and he's sure that in some world out there, it exists. But he's happy that it ended this way, as we're shown what floor 76 to 100 would have been. Because Reki got bored, I guess. Kaiba vanishes, congratulating the two of them as Kirito and Asuna hold each other. They reveal their true names, Kirito being Kazuto Kirigaya, and Asuna being Asuna Yuki. She used her real name in an MMO. Sure. while Kirito just combined his first and last name. Anyways, the world of SAO disappears as they hold each other and confess their love. Kirito awakens in the real world and says Asana's name, remembering everything that happened. And that's it. And after all of that, what are we left with? Something very okay. I'm not going to mince words. Is this brilliantly written? No. There are moments of well writing. Again, the Red-Nosed Reindeer shit is well written, I think. The first 3 episodes are fucking great. The first 3 episodes are an amazing opener to a series and get you hooked. The Silica shit, you could leave it or take it. It doesn't really add anything. And the fact that we keep jumping up floors, yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Because suddenly in episode 2, you're on the floor 1 boss. And then in ep 3, we're like 20 floors higher to floor 28 or some shit. I guess realistically they weren't going to do all 100 floors, but it does just seem like Reki Kawahara got bored or something. I wonder if he'll retcon this in the future and go back and rewrite these novels. I guess that's kind of what Progressive is, huh? But maybe we'll see what floor 100 would have been like if they had to go through it. I don't know. Maybe y'all would disagree with me on that. That's cool. Let's see. As far as the anime adaptation, it's actually decent. I can't believe I'm saying this, but for the first 2 novels, which I just heard both of, through the audiobook thing, this anime covers the majority of the shit, leaves very little out. It even adds stuff from, I believe it's Light Novel Volume 8. Someone will correct me on that. The murder mystery story that was back in Aincrad, because Reki wanted to add more to the Aincrad's plotline. The anime added that in too. And it does it all in chronological order, so it's not confusing. Like if you go to one audiobook and then the other. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, would I recommend the anime or the light novels if you want to get into SAO? I'm going to have to say the anime. Oh, sure, the light novels do some stuff better, but the anime is much easier to get through, and I feel it does a good enough job on its own, personally. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. But yeah. Anyway, if you stuck with us all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like, comment, all that stuff, and yeah. MVP of this, I'm gonna have to give it to Kevin M. Connolly. Oh, as Heathcliff. I don't know. I like how he made that guy sound. Also, Doug Airholes as Courier is fucking great. It's just Doug Airholes in his natural habitat, so it was great too. No one had a bad performance. I will say, Kirito, Bryce, some of his line delivery was a bit iffy here or there, but remember, this was 8 years ago now. Who knows? Hell, it could have been dubbed in 2012. I don't even know when this was dubbed. We just know when the dub came out and premiered. But, yeah. Everyone did alright. The ad voice recycling is a bit questionable. How Eric Kimmer was also in the audience of certain areas. I'm reacting to shit even after his character died, so Lucian Dodge was a bunch of people, but what can you do? At the end of the day, I still had fun watching this. I hope you all will join me next time for more SAO, because coming up next, if all goes well, SAO, the movie, Progressive, Aria of a Starless Night. Another fucking Aincrad adaptation. Okay, this better be the last time I have to talk about Aincrad for a while. But yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have yourselves a great day. And yeah. Till next time, guys. Sasamaru! I get to do that again because Doug Errol was in the stub. But thanks again so much for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this arc of SAO, what your favorite part of it was. Again, first 3 episodes for me and the murder mystery stuff were cool. The rest of it, take it or leave it. It was just okay. Except the Yui shit. That arc was fucking terrible and I hate it. I hated having to go through it twice. I wanted to fast forward through that shit when I got to it in the anime adaptation. But alright, enough rambling. For realsies. Thanks again, guys. Till next time. Have a great day. Let me know your thoughts and all that.